Happy Tip Tuesday, golfers. All right, Jake, we're back on the lesson tee, and today we're talking about the trail of the back arm, how it should move to set up the club properly. Kind of a misunderstood thing about the game. There's a couple of things we see a lot when people try to, get their arms in the right position and perceive where they should be. So show me the two biggest things we see all the time.
Okay, so the first one is that people will set up and they will start too much with their back arm and they will pull it across their body in the takeaway. So as that back elbow pulls across their chest, it gets very behind them. And this will lead to having to lift the club up into this position, which is how that dreaded chicken wing happens we all are trying to avoid.
Yeah, that elbow is up, the flying elbow we call it sometimes. And a lot of it's caused, Jake, just because you don't turn enough. If you turn, the arms can fold. If you don't turn, those arms will separate and that elbow gets behind, as you said, and starts moving the wrong way.
Yeah, I agree. So when we turn it, it'll look more like this, as opposed to using my arms to bring the club around instead.
Okay, so we get the flying elbow, the chicken wing, but then people try to fix it with another kind of misperception. What do they do next?
Yeah, so they'll overcorrect in the opposite direction, and what they'll try to do is they'll try to keep their elbow down, but they'll wind up bringing it in too much. So by pinning my elbow into my rib cage, it gets my arm very close to me, which I guess isn't up in the air, but it also means I rotate my shoulder in, I get my elbow down, and that will make me swing around my body too much for a completely different reason.
Yeah, another flaw, and we also call that narrow, because instead of swinging, the arm is locked into the ribs,
yeah, good
and
point.
The swing gets very small and weak. The problem there is up has an opposite. The fix is to keep it down. The opposite of up is not in, and people just make that little mistake. So the trailing arm needs to swing and then fold under the club into an L. And I've got a drill for you just to show you how it works. A lot of times golfers make mistakes because when you have both arms, you can really control that golf club. If you swing with just your back arm and allow your arm to swing, notice how my elbow swings naturally, and then I turn the club under and get the elbow in that L position. If I only use one arm, the arm will usually travel the right way and it'll swing and then fold. I actually hit balls like this sometimes. It's not easy. Don't worry about it if you don't hit great shots, but if I can just stand here and swing and fold, I can move through and at least make contact and start to understand what that right arm, that back arm does to support the club and have the proper position at the top. Right, Jake?
Yeah, what I like about it so much is even if you don't hit it well, it'll give you the feeling of what your trail arm should be doing. So it makes it easier to replicate it in a golf swing instead of kind of being confused and wondering where your arms should go.
Yeah, I love it. It is a swinging feeling. Is swing and fold. Try it next time you're practicing. I think you'll hit better shots.